Hi everyone, so those of you who follow me on author Lisa Renee Jones on Facebook or YouTube know that I have a kitty cat named Julie, and my husband and I adore this little girl. She's our furry daughter, and we would do anything for her, including inventing a very special pet bed. Now, we were on a quest because she always wanted to be under something, but she couldn't get under it herself. She couldn't hide under a blanket herself very well. She couldn't easily get out. And when we got her the little cubby holes that are cut out, she just didn't like them. She didn't feel safe, warm, and secure. And that's a big deal for a lot of animals. And it's also a big deal for animals that have health issues. If they have arthritis, or they have not even a health issue, but short fur, and you live in a wintry environment, even air conditioning can, make them very cold. So we were on a hunt, and we couldn't find what we needed, and so we just decided we're going to make it ourselves. So I'm going to show you the very special pet bed that we have made for our Julie that you can make for your cat or dog, and I think that you will find they will be very happy. So I'm going to show you what you need and how to do it. It's super easy, and it's not expensive at all. Here are the supplies that you'll need. You're going to want a soft touch bed if you can find one. That is my preference. You can use any pillow top, but a soft touch is the preference, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. You can get those online. Just Google soft touch. They range from $29.99 to $39.99. Multiple sizes, but not a lot of colors, unfortunately. Then you're also going to need just basic needles. You don't need any special needle, just a basic needle that you can get anywhere. Then you're going to want outdoor thread, not regular thread, because you want it to be more sturdy. You can get the outdoor thread at any craft store or just in the sewing department of a Walmart or a Target. And I put a little pin cushion hat there just to show that as you're moving from side to side to take care of sewing the bed, you might want a little spot to stick your needle. And then you want a pair of scissors. So just recapping, you want the bed that's pillow top, you want needles, you want outdoor thread, you want a pin cushion, and you want scissors. Okay, so we're going to start out by looking at a finished project and then start with one that's not finished. When this particular bed comes, any pillow top bed comes, you're not going to get it attached at the sides. You just have a pillow on the bed that flips off. Now, my Julie wanted to go under the pillow, and every time she would do that, the pillow would fall, and she was no longer in that cubby that she wanted to create for herself. So that's why we created this bed, was we wanted her to have that cubby, and we wanted her to be able to put herself under herself. If she tried to get under a blanket, she couldn't do that. She'd struggle. So this gave her a warm, snuggly spot she could go to herself. So that is what the finished product is this pillow top here. But you can't do this with just any bed, and let me tell you why. A lot of these pillow top beds are very heavy. The pillow itself is heavy. With the soft touch beds, one of the reasons I love them is the pillow is very light, and yet it's sturdy. So when they're going in and out, they're not tearing up the pillow, but they're also not having this heavy weight lay on them when they climb down into the bed. The other thing I love about this bed is that it's orthopedic. A lot of times with these pillow top beds, it's just this hard, flat bottom. This bed, the soft touch, not only is very soft, but it has an orthopedic bottom, so your animal is laying on a really great surface for them. So that is why I choose this bed. Now, when you are going to sew the sides, we're going to show you how I do that. But the thing about this is getting it really, really tight, because they're going to go in and out and be tugging on it constantly. That's why I also said to use that sturdy outdoor thread. I started out making these by using the regular thread and ended up resewing it every week. So use that outdoor thread to do this. So I'm going to show you the sewing process so I can show you a few tricks I've learned by making about a dozen of these by now, because of course we always want her to have the freshest, nicest bed, because she is spoiled like I'm sure your animal is. Okay, so step number one is you want to thread your needle with a lot of thread, because we're going to go up and down the sides 2 times, and we're going to do that because you don't want to have 2 tie-off spots that can be stretched and come loose. So what I do is I start high, Not too high though, because you've got to remember that you're leaving a spot for them to be able to climb in. It's got to be a big enough hole for them to be able to do that. And I leave quite a bit of thread because I'm going to tie it off once I come back down. And then, you know, I get pretty deep into there, into that side. And I tend on this first round down not to go overly tight, because I'm going to go really tight when I come back down, and I'm kind of lazy like that. And I haven't found that it makes that much of a difference as long as I get it really well on the time back. So you're just going to go all the way down here. There you go. Now, one of the things I want to point out is on this side, I'm down pretty far here, but on this side, I'm not going to go down as far, because one of the things I find is if you have both sides really high and tight, then they kind of sit up almost on top of a bubble, whereas if you let it be able to sink down, then they're more comfortable, and it's easier for them to loosen the pillow and get under themselves as well. So don't go quite as far on one side as you do the other, so that you get that flexibility with the pillow. And then when you go back the other direction, you're going to be much tighter. Just make sure you get it really close and tight. Okay, so next, and the reason I do so much thread is it never fails. If I don't do a big long strand, then I end up too short and I don't have enough. Better to just have a big huge long one, so that you know you'll have enough no matter how tight you pull it. Then tie it off really well and really tight, because it's going to take a lot of tugging often. And then because animals love to eat string, make sure you tie that or cut that off really well. So there you go. You have your finished product. They can go in through the bottom. Now, what I do is also one last little tip that I'm going to show you now to make this extra special for your animal. Okay, now it's time for the final very special touch, and that is adding heat. I buy Sunbeam velvet colored heating pads. You can get these on Amazon, usually about $29.99 with free shipping. Now, one of the things I love about these is they're detachable from the cord and they are washable. And with an animal, I think that that's very important. Heck, with me, that's very important. So now what you're going to do with this, and one of the reasons why I had you use that really tight thread, is you're going to stick this underneath here, and then your animal is going to have the perfect warm, snuggly spot to hide. And there you have it. What I think is perhaps the best pet bed on the planet, made by you and me. And I believe that your animal will love you even more now. And we all want our animals to love us more. So subscribe, come and see me, author Lisa Renee Jones. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you soon.